Oh, what's different about the Fazioli?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I mean, it's got a very wide dynamic range. I mean, I had the soft pedal down for that song we just did, and I could get something ever so quiet, with barely any energy at all to get the keys down. And then if I wanted to get a little more energy, it didn't take much at all. And I'm sure if I wanted to keep going, I mean, that's a tremendous range. And a lot of pianos sort of live in a certain envelope or area, you know, and I think this one's certainly much wider. Other things I've noticed, like the bass registers, remarkably clear. Just one bass note, you can hear the overtones very nicely. Some get a little muddy, especially if you play intervals down there. But these, absolutely clear. Plus the feel, again, this is like the same thing with the dynamic control. It's completely well regulated all the way through. Typically a larger instrument like this, you would take a little more maybe to get such a long string to really speak at all. It's a little more weight, but this just, they take your finger with it, you know, each key, no matter where I am. Same energy as it takes to do that.
So it's very responsive, and it's also, what would you call that?
It's regulation,
Uh-huh.
voicing. It's completely even, regardless of the range. That's a great thing for me. I mean, because I've been playing for 36 years. I've played a lot of pianos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing you tend to notice with larger instruments is the sort of where you are tends to require. I mean, they try to compensate for that, but this is remarkable in that sense. It's completely even wherever you go.
So how is this helpful for playing like your own compositions, for example? Or for
That's
improvising?
a good question, yeah. Well, for me, my music's very sonority-oriented, impressionistic, a little jazzy, some classical influence, so I'm listening very much for the interaction of tones and pedal, waking them up and stuff. So when you have a nice interference of the overtones, but not so much, in other words, the noise element, the hammer actually striking the string is not too much to where it obscures the tone that follows, if I'm making sense. So
the piano's really responsive, but it's not noisy in being responsive,
Yeah.
not mechanically noisy.
a typical classical piano sound has more of a hammer. There's more hammer in it.
Mm-hmm.
Certain Steinways, and then Yamahas too. They sort of have that sometimes, but then the strings themselves are brighter, and the whole instrument tends to be bright. And this is sort of nice in the middle, not too percussive, and nice singing tone. So that allows me to, you know, get these combinations and these various sounds, and I can hear them all. They don't muddy together too much as they might. Play, you know, 12 notes at once or 10,
And you can still hear all 12.
yeah, you bet.
Yeah, nice.
It's quite clear.